Hello everyone, I'm Jennifer Grace and welcome to a card making process video. This card is for the House of Cards challenge, who have currently got to the challenge to use a bokeh effect on your card. So I am just going to show you my process of putting that together. So I've started off with a card blank and I've cut down a piece of watercolour effect paper from a Webster's Pages Dream in Colour drifting sheet. You could obviously create your own background watercolour effect or painted effect on a scrap of paper, but I loved this paper so I just cut some down. I've also cut the sentiment, be happy, be bright, be you, from another sheet of Dream in Colour paper. This one's called the Storyteller Sheet 2. So I've got those items prepared, ready to put my card together. So now I just need to create the bokeh effect. So I've pulled out a stencil with a variety of circle sizes on it. Ideally I would have found one with a larger circular hole as well as all these small ones, but we'll see how I got around that in a minute. So I'm starting off just by blocking some holes out with masking tape. I just want to be able to do one hole at a time without the ink escaping through other circles. So I've just washi taped a border around some of the circles, one of each size. Then I've got a foam ink pad that's normally with the Ranger ink tool, but I don't want to use the wood mount. I'm just going to use the foam pad as it is to help me get into the circles and not to get it all over the rest of the stencil. So I'm using a Brilliance white ink pad and I'm just dabbing the foam pad into the ink and then dabbing it through the circles. I've sped this section up quite a lot because it took me a while to get all these circles positioned how I wanted them. But you can see what I'm doing here. I started off with the larger circle and just kind of randomly scattered a few about. Make sure that you overlap some. You can vary the intensity of the ink by just putting a bit less on, not pressing so hard, which will give you a few lighter circles. And also you should make sure some of them go off the edge of your background, so some of them are overlapping the edge of it, just to keep the effect that it's this out of focus photo background. So I did all three sizes of the circle, working from the largest to the smallest, and just making sure some were overlapped, some were closer to each other and some were further away. And then I decided I really wanted a larger circle, so I went and found a foam circle stamp. So there's actually a number 5 on the front of this stamp, but I'm using the back because it was just foam on the back. So I was able to just use that to stamp a few lighter, larger circles over the background. So once that was finished, I just left it to dry for a while and then I'm ready to put the rest of the card together. So I'm just inking the edges with a gold ink pad. I usually turn to gold to ink the edges of pieces if I'm not sure what colour to use, because gold is kind of indiscriminate. It doesn't stand out too much, but it does give the edge that little bit more definition, and it goes with everything. So once I've inked that up, I just stick it onto my card blank, and then I'm going to add the sentiment, but I'm going to use foam dots to stick this on just to give it a bit more of a wow factor, make it stand out a bit from that out of focus background. Having the bokeh background really just helps that sentiment to stand out, but with a colourful, pretty detail behind it. So you can see here I had managed to pick up a bit of ink somewhere. Some of the white circles have got holes in them, so I'm just going to cover those up with some sequins. because I don't want holes in my bokeh. So I've got some gold and some white sequins. Just use them to cover up the holes, and then I'm also just scattering a few in other places so it's not so obvious they were just a fix. Now they are an addition to the circles scattered around the background. Adds a nice bit of shimmer too. Once I've got the sequins all placed, my card is finished. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you would like to see more, or visit my blog jennifergracecreates.com. I hope you have a great day.